Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Redline Racing Network. Tonight, it all goes down at the new Hotlanta. Don't let the name Echo Park fool you. It's going to be as high-flying, as high-octane as ever as SNN gets ready to fire up primetime right here on Redline Racing Network. Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Tony Trapassa Memorial Broadcast Booth. Tonight at the helm, it's going to be the Dodo Bird, Matt J., with a little help from T-Bagger, a.k.a. Jeffy T. Lead comms. I'm coming to you from actually my work parking lot. Wanted to help with the show open just because I miss you guys. Cannot thank my broadcast team enough. I'm going to turn it over to Matt J., but sit back, hold on. It's about to get wild here in Atlanta.
Jeff here.
As always, looking at these pretty cars before they get all banged up here.
Yeah, they're gonna bang themselves up pretty bad, I think.
Yeah, it's no. I was sitting here thinking about, we got a long race here. It's a lot of laps, and this could get interesting. I think everybody's mindset's got to be starting out that let's not wad them up early and let's try to get through this thing. But I don't know. We get antsy.
Yep. There we go. We'll roll them around here and get ready to go here. This is gonna be a rough one.
It could be. Looking, like I said, I'm looking through all these pretty paint schemes. I like Tony Muring's. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's probably like, every time I butcher it, I always like that black and gold. That's a cool looking race car. See some normal faces up there. See Matt Cox on the outside of the front row.
Yes, sir. Cox gonna be outside front row. Here we go. One of 260 laps. Green flag in the air. Let's go. Let the shenanigans begin at Atlantis. Wow, already. We're going to see it tonight, man. They're going to get down in the line and just kind of ride the bottom the best they can, I do believe.
You see right off the rip that everybody's trying to get to the bottom early. That's just where the momentum went to.
Are you ready to go for shenanigans tonight?
We're going to have about 260 laps of shenanigans. Let's just hope we don't wreck them all like they did last night in the real race. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. I think we just got to keep it clean for a bit.
Plain and green. I'm not sure what our fuel window is for tonight. I'm a little bit running behind getting to the booth tonight.
Should be around 45, I do believe.
45 laps.
Or 60, possibly. I can't remember off the top of my head from running open. Because I ran open the other day.
You did? How'd that go?
Yeah, outside wall, upside down.
That's kind of how it rolls for me here, too.
And I got 17X.
You know, I ain't even raced an official this week yet.
I was looking like the big bird, only I was the little bird upside down.
I know. That's every time I race this, that's what happens. It never works out good.
And already we're in a line up front. No surprise there. You're going to have to try to figure it out if you're these guys deeper in the pack. Well,
these guys deep in the pack they either want to be there or they're content with it. They just wanted to drop back and stay out of the trouble, or they're like, you know what? Looking real fast, but we're just going to hang out here. And we're pretty much single file right now.
Yeah, we're just single file.
Everybody's single file, just stretched out. So everybody's going to get in line and try to run some laps out, get this thing, get to the first stage. Or also we may see You know, the one thing I haven't done is I don't know how the tire wear affects the cars this week.
You know, I don't know if it will at all hardly this week.
Well, the Cup car's tire model has significantly changed. So these are questions I should have been asking instead of taking a week off from iRacing, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't get an opportunity to ask these questions, to try these questions, because I couldn't keep the car straight long enough to.
See? Well, we get a break in here. We might be able to see if we can pull up one of these guys I know and see if we can have some quick questions about this thing. See how they're feeling.
Yeah, we can do that, but at the moment, everybody's just kind of single filed out.
Just single file.
No surprise there, right?
No surprise. We got, my count is 37 cars in the race. Each one of them nose to tail.
Well, on the bright side, not tearing anything up yet.
Keyword being yet. We've also got two cars, Andrew Deemer and Dakota Laurie. They've completely fell off from the entire pack, so I don't know if something happened or if this is planned because they're well off the pace. Or big gap, anyways.
They're way back there in the back. 8 laps complete.
I don't really blame them, you know? If they can do it and keep up a decent pace, that's not a bad move.
No, not at all. Not a bad idea at all if you can keep up the pace to do this. Well, we wouldn't.
Okay, never mind. I thought we were about to see some action.
Not yet, huh? Ooh,
Not yet.
iRacing with the connection.
It's a shame they ruined the old Atlanta.
Yep, I would agree with that one because they're going to stay single file and nothing really happening right now.
And you can't blame them. It's the product. It's the byproduct of this type of
Nonsense.
racing nonsense. Now, as I say, we may see some tire fall off here, and we'll see some of these cars start to move. You ever been in one of those situations on a super speedway where you're just driving along and you end up 3 wide and you don't even know how?
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've also been where you have to ride like this, and then by the end, everybody freight trains you.
And I'm asleep by then.
I mean, we have a line of like, what, 30 cars just lined
30,
up?
37. Nose to tail.
Hey, we got some movement way back here in the pack. Oh, that was about bad. Nope, they're going to elect to get in line again. No, you can't do anything up there with that amount of cars.
No, you can't. It seems like there's some cars back there that have got bored and don't want to sit there and ride, and they're trying to make their way up through there. Let's see if they have some luck at it.
Mike continuing to just kind of pull. Hey, you start up front tonight, you're in good shape.
As long as you don't get a penalty on pit road or anything, that's what you got to be really careful of. So it looks like the tail end of this main pack, there's a, Sean Anderson in the 76 EPI car. He's on the outside. It looks like he's gonna try to do something. He doesn't have a lot of help back there, but again, that bottom line just seems to be pulling the weight tonight.
Well, they're just going to single file out and just ride. That's the plan, and that's what's happening here. And again, I don't blame them. Neither do you.
I don't blame them, no. because this is a long race, and we seen what happened last night in the Real Cup race. It was an absolute demolition derby.
You just got to kind of strategize your way through this.
You do. And part of the strategy is being patient.
Doing exactly what they're doing right now, 16 on the board.
That's right. Well, I see 3 EPI cars. The let's see, the 76. Wait a minute. We got a wreck. We got a wreck. Single car wreck. Back of the pack.
Trying to catch up, and there it is. Around he goes. Luckily,
and hard into the wall. What in the world happened?
Oh, and he's blinking. Wow. Did he just blink for you?
I lost track of him, so I'm working on it. He's stuck on the bank on the 23.
Yeah, he's having an issue.
These guys were just getting in line, so they look like they were going to race together. I'm kind of confused at what happened there.
I am too.
He just lost it. He just flat out lost it.
Let's go to commercial here real quick, and I'll work on figuring out getting a camera angle on it. What do you think?
That's fine.
All right, let's do it.
Looks like any damage he's got's minor, though.
All right, Pterodactyl back here in the booth with the Pterodactyl Little Bird here with Big Bird and somewhat Big Bird.
A lot of birds up here in the Tony Trefass Memorial Broadcast booth. And you know what, boys? It's storming in Florida. The power got knocked out, so I figured why not come back to the place that I really want to be, up here in the booth with you guys. And it looks like we've had sparks and some shots fired here early, not necessarily in form of the drivers. This new aero package just being evil. Was taking a look there at the replay, and there's a little bit of a time delay on my end, boys, but it just looked like that car just, for whatever reason, decided it did not want to be friends with the racetrack anymore, and the back end just stepped out to lunch, and all he could do was hold on for dear life from there.
as we go back green, that's what it visually did look like. And that, again, I wished I would. I'm kind of mad at myself for not running any official races this week.
Are you upset at yourself, sir?
Well, I mean, it prevents me from having good feedback here.
There we go. Yeah, it's hard too when you don't know, right?
You don't know what
Well,
you don't
Jeff,
know.
I can tell you this. You're a lot better driver than I am, but I have a couple races under my belt, and this aero package is way different from what we've experienced and what we've come to know before this most recent iRacing update. The biggest one you have to pay attention to is this car, just for whatever reason at times, it will just all of a sudden get super loose on you. You can literally run the same line, the same trajectories, identical laps. And for whatever reason, at times, the back end will just get super light, and you're going to have to jump up on the wheel quickly. It makes no sense. It can be aggravating, but that's an invisible force that all of these drivers will be up against tonight.
Well, even ever since they switched to this tire model a couple weeks ago and they adjusted the aero package, I've seen some cup drivers talking, like real life cup drivers were talking about what iRacing did, and they felt like what they did to this aero package and tire package was very similar to real life. And having said all that, you see that in real life when the cars start to spin out, you can't save them. Like you normally, and especially with the Xfinity and the truck car, and even prior to the cup car, you could get it and run it loose, but it seems like now when this thing steps out, there's no saving it.
And I believe that's a big part of how this new car makes its downforce. The cars of old, the current Xfinity car, the truck, it uses an active spoiler where it creates downforce from the air coming over the car, which sucks that car truck to the asphalt. This car does it in an entirely different way, something they actually used in Formula One back in the 70s. It uses the air coming into the car underneath the car to generate a lot of its downforce. So when you spew that car out, it gets out of the air, your downforce disappears, and I think that's a big reason why.
Yeah, it basically sucks down to the ground. That diffuser rides close to the surface and just pulls it down.
Right, and then when you spew that car out too far, I'm not sure how many degrees it is, but as a driver, you have all the downforce, and then there's nothing. There's no in-between. You have it one moment, the next, it's gone.
That's exactly right. That's the way it feels, and I've experienced it a few times. If you watched my league race last Wednesday at Pocono, I got in a very similar position. I was plenty fast, running top 5, and I got a car to my outside, or it was just a little bit to my, to my right side, and there was a checkup, and he put me in an awkward position below him on the exit of turn 1, and when he did, I lost it. But I'm not really sure if that was aero on my part or what, but it just happens, and you don't even know, you can't predict it.
And like you said, when we started, going down this path about the new aero package, that's really how it is in real life. And I believe as sim racers, that's what we want. The cup drivers are basically singing iRacing's praises when it comes to this update. This is just something we're going to have to get used to. We're going to have to adjust to it. We've been through these growing pains before, but right now, this is when it's going to plague us the most, is right when it's fresh, right when it's new, but it can lead to some very exciting races and thrilling finishes.
Well, I honestly believe that the setup guys like Kenny Coppola and Ken Byron, the guys at EPI, Michael Connie, will actually figure out some ways to supplement it. Those guys are the big builders. Those are the big names that run the A cars. They're certainly going to learn more week after week about stabilizing these things.
And just like the more intel they get, the more laps they run, the better they'll be able to enhance these race cars. And I agree with you 100%. We are so fortunate to have, developers and great racers like, Kenny Coppola. I call it Mr. Excitement over at Team Watson Racing Setups. And everyone that we have in the industry, sometimes we, take for granted just how far we've come in iRacing. But, in any other professional sport, you really can't get that type of experience that you can get right here with iRacing. And that's one of the things I truly love about it.
Yeah, I do too. And they're going to get better and better. I'm definitely a little nervous myself, but we're going to see how this thing plays out, and week after week we'll learn more and more.
All right, gentlemen, it looks like the power's coming back on here. So I got to get back to my other job. Thanks for having me back up in the booth with you guys for a couple minutes. Have a great call and enjoy the rest of the race this evening.
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's do it over the crank it up style for a second.
Crank it up. We are muted, right? All right, folks. So we're back here. We've seen some action. Double file this time around versus being single file. It seemed like everybody's, instead of getting in line nose to tail, we've spread out, fanned out here. Mike, looks like the leader's coming up on some lap cars. I'm not exactly sure what happened and how those lap cars got shuffled out there, but the leaders are going to absorb them here, the 38 and the 23. Anytime, and you'll see, anytime you absorb these cars, those slow cars into the field, it really causes a ruckus, and it's hard to get back in line and not wreck. But everybody seems to be doing a good job here so far. Matthew Cox back there has ended up 3 wide with his teammates. That's not a good position to be in. Your mic's still hot. Got a car in a wall. Whoa, we got. Oh, if we got a wreck, we got a car in a wall in the back. They got it straightened out. Starting to look like everybody's in a single file back out now. Looks like the 86 is, he's not content with settling at single filing out right now. But I'm sure he's just temporarily there. If he got a chance to get down, I'm sure he would. They're gonna. It looks like the packs have separated, and we got 2 big packs. Chin 4. Let's go back to crank it up real quick.
The yellow flag is out. Green flag, green flag.
I'm back hot. All right. So, trying to catch up here. My partner here in the broadcast booth has got some personal issues going on, so we're trying to. So I don't exactly have control of the race and what's going on here. So I'm gonna do my best solo while I try to bring in somebody to help me out here tonight. So just bear with me. And I'll tell you something, we've got a lot more racy here tonight than we were before, so business has definitely picked up at the front. Is there any way you can throw your feed up?
The yellow flag is out. Yellow flag is out.
All right, we're back here. We've got some technical issues we're working through. My partner in crime here, so I'm trying to get somebody to come in here and help us finish this thing out. So, got a lot of racing left to do. Let's see. Going green. It seems like we got a new leader too. Let's see. We've had some change. We had a change of guard. The 93 of Cole Wilson. And it seems like some of these guys may have flipped, flipped the pit stops, flipped the stages. Because those EPI guys kind of were hanging out in the back. Now they're up front. So kind of looking to see what they got up their sleeve here. Two by two through most of the field. Been seeing a lot of weird wrecks tonight in this race. It's like cars just losing it on their own. That weird aero package. You just can't save them, and all of a sudden you're in a big wreck before you even know it. Looks like the 57 car, he's going to try to make a run at this thing. Cody Johnson. Cody's always a factor in these races. Always at the front of the pack here in the SNN. He's got some help with his EPI compadres there. The 76 of Sean Johnson. Ooh, the 83 looked like he was on looking side of the 21 there and make it 3 wide, which would have been a huge mistake. Glad he backed out of that one. Now it looks like Cody Johnson's going to be able to sneak out there with the lead. He's going to take the lead on the high side. Definitely seems like that high line's starting to work its way in. Now Cody's dropped to the bottom. It looks. I'm kind of surprised he left his EPI teammate there, but. Because they've worked their way through. And also his EPI team, Sean Johnson, has the number 8 car, Mike McConville. He's been the car to beat tonight so far in this race, helping him. So I'm not really sure if these guys are communicating, used to working together or what. They're starting to string out here. Cody left his EPI partner there, has helped him get through the pack, and then they're just drifting back.
Caution, yellow flag.
Huge wreck. Oh, we got a massive wreck. Everybody's involved. It looks like from 10th on back, all in this wreck. Massive pile up. Looks like going back, we just had some guys jockeying for position here or what? Let's see. There was a bad bump off the 76, turned the 29. He lost control and went into the 22, and it just started a huge wreck, big chain reaction. So I got a little help in the booth now. I don't have control over the actual play by over the camera angles for YouTube, but I got my buddy Paul Gallimore. I've drug him up in here into this. Help me talk through this. Paul, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you. Got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
Makeshift partner. Are you into? I think you're into the race. I seen you join.
Yes, popping in again.
I think you weren't drawing all the cars because they wrecked. We just had we had a big wreck in turn 3.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, oh.
raced any here in the officials this week, but these cars just seem all over the place loose.
You
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
All right. So back here and in the action, getting ready to go back green here on lap 80. I think I'm double checking our stages here tonight. What's the fuel window been this week, Paul?
38 to 40. 40 is pretty much maxing it. If you're going to, if you're kind of in the draft, you're able to kind of run some partial throttle and whatnot. Out front, though, I don't spend much time up front like that in these things, but, if you were, I think you're probably looking at around that 38 window. They can probably use a little more gas, but I mean, you do have to lift here now a little more than you did before because you just get so tight behind someone. If you try to push them into the corner, you just cannot keep the nose from trying to take off on you. So there you are not running wide open here anymore like you used to do.
Well, see, I like that. I'm not much on the whole cookie cutter, just hold it wide open thing. I mean, Daytona and Talladega, we respect those beasts. I mean, they're their own world. This was kind of a hybrid of it, and I just wouldn't. I don't know. I kind of like the 1.5 miles in this car, and to me, it took away something from that.
Well, I think as the track ages in real life, you're going to start to see more of that, the lifting and whatnot, and more spread out. It's just it's going to take some time to get there. But of course, here in iRacing, we're static, so we're just at mercy of whatever drafting package they give us.
Yep. And as we go back to green, I think about that, and I think how good some of the races could be here. It just needs a little character to the track. To me, the track hasn't had a lot of character up until now.
You're absolutely right. It just kind of was pretty much, run, take every run you get, just take every run, try to avoid the big ones when you can, and then hopefully they'll be there at the end. So yeah, I mean, it's going to hopefully get some more character like it had, with the old Atlanta when you had the bumps and, and different lines, the Kevin Harvick line, things like that you had to run.
Remember the Kevin Harvick line here when it was old and we still had horsepower, we still had 900 horsepower cars. Kevin Harvick would lift just past the start-finish line on the front stretch. You would see they would follow his telemetry. He'd come past the start-finish line, and he'd hit that last little dog leg, and that's where he would lift, and he would get back on the throttle way earlier than anybody else.
He got that thing loaded up enough. Yeah, it was an unusual line, but he was damn good here. So you can kind of see he figured it out before somebody else does. So I mean, that's kind of the way this is going to end up being, at some point in real life, I'm sure, as the track continues to age. And then, that we ran this earlier in the year is February, so it was cold, and then they come back and it's the dog days of summer. So I mean, I can't imagine two different scenarios that you would have to go and try to take a car and rip it around this place.
And for us, being in iRacing, we've got two different aero packages and tire packages. Because as far as I can tell in real life, they didn't change anything. But last night's race was unique compared to what we had seen before from NASCAR. I will say that. I was a little more interested. This is not really I don't really like this hybrid, but I watched it last night. So.
Yeah. I watched it. It was like I said. I mean, the ending and whatnot was exciting. Shame all the cars got wide up. Like to have seen a lot more of them in there at the end. But it was nice to see some of the the guys you normally don't see up front and a chance to win. So I thought it put on a good show. I think it put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, it did.
It looks like we've got single file out here in the top 5, and then we get 2 breasts from 6th on back. They are kind of spread out a little bit there. We've got, looks like we've got Sully here in front with Tony and Matt and Carson and BMP boys. 2, 3, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5 right now.
Yeah, so the car that's really dominated the first part of this race was the number 8 car of Matt I'm gonna make sure I pronounce his name right, McConville. He was the car to beat early in this race, and I don't know. So we've had a little bit of jockeying for track position with stages and caution breaks, so it's kind of changed things up and got this field kind of mixed up a little bit. But
the good thing about having a fast car, like you said, Matt has, if it's fast, it'll be back up there. As long as he can avoid the calamity that's sure to come at some point. We got 3 wide racing back here, but they got to get sorted out going into 1. So it looks like, yeah, like I said, just kind of, if you're fast, you can find a way up here. It is just not that easy to pass when they're 2 abreast in front of you. This place is, you can do 3 wide. On the sim, it's not very easy to do, as we're not pros or nothing like that. It can be done, and I'm sure they will test those limits here coming up for long. But yeah, like I said, you know, you just kind of have to try to just avoid what's coming and just try to keep yourself up front. Track position, as is the key, man. You know, ever since this new update, track position, you cannot preach it enough.
And so track position here has twofold. Because not only do you need the track position because it's hard to pass, but you also are able to stay out of the wrecks more or less. If you're at the front of the pack, you don't normally get caught up in a wreck. I mean,
Well,
you can, but...
Well, one thing we've noticed throughout the week of racing there, I've done a few of these, not many officials, but several league races. That top line, it is so hard. Last year the top line was the preferred line. Oh, we got one there on the top. Oh, he
Cody
got
Johnson.
Wiggly. He is, yeah, he saved it. Nice save, Eric, by Cody. So, but yeah, that top line, it is just, you know, the bottom line is preferred. Bottom line. Last year, you know, it was the top side. Ever since this new update, you get on someone's rear end and you try to push them through the corner and your nose takes off and you just can't get those. You just cannot get those runs on the outside like you have in years past.
It was very vanilla, in my opinion, before, and maybe that's what led me to have a bad opinion of it. So now you've kind of got a little character. If you've got a lift because of the car in front of you, that adds a lot to it, instead of just basically wide open all the time.
Well, you know, like I said, if you're kind of loose, you get behind. If you're the lead car and you're loose, you're going to be loose. But if you are kind of in the pack and you're a little loose, that, you know, the air will tighten you up some, and that's exactly what you want. But, you know, you also can't be too loose that if you do lead a line, that you're not going to get this thing out, you know, get it twisted up on you and start trying to swap ends at any given time. So yeah, like I said, it's just, you know, look like Chris Davis is coming back out. Looks like he was having some connection issues, I think, earlier in the race, if I recall.
Yep, Chris had some connection issues, and he comes back out, and it looks like he's 21 laps down. I hate that for Chris. But as always, he's a points racer, so he's going to get out here, and he's going to run some laps, and he knows there's going to be some wrecks, so he'll be able to gain a few spots at some point during this thing.
Absolutely. Every point counts. I know he's up there in the points. First, second, third, somewhere around in there. I hadn't had a chance to look, but I know him, Cox, a couple of these guys, you know, that are at the front of the want to get as many points as possible, and certainly he's one of those.
Yeah, Matt Cox is typical in this league. He stays up front and he just hangs around. Also seeing a good run from Sean Rockin' Rogers as he's come back through the pack. He started towards the back and he's kind of got up towards the top 5, and it looks like he's settled in right there in 5th place now.
I see that he started 22nd, looked like on the grid, and he's made some good gains. Cole Wilson, we've got started 31st up in the 9th, so there's a big mover, as well as Cody Johnson started 30th. We see he was even higher than where he is now, so yeah, some big gains. Ken, I don't want to mess his last name up. It's Ron. Looks like he started 37th up to 14th. Good runs by these guys.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with some of their names too. I know a few of them, and I learn them as we go.
Could be Ray, could be Ron. I'm sorry, Ken, if I butchered that. That is,
yeah, it's the same. Unintended. I know William Kempf is another one at KEMPF that I guess that's how you pronounce it. But sometimes you see some names that are pronounced completely different than you would expect.
Absolutely, yeah. Looks like we're still staying single file, but the outside line is gaining a little more momentum on the outside there. They're up to about the 6th place car, about where they've been hanging. Well, they shuffled 56 out there. He's going to try to squeeze back down, but I don't think he's going to get it. This absolutely just killed that top line. So the bottom back to being preferred line. So we'll have to try to get lined up and start all over again.
So I bet you, if I'm guessing here, I bet you the 48 and the 57 will try to work together here to come back up through there. You see, some of these guys know how to work that side draft so well, and you see them, and they can pull that line up through there, but they got to have help. You can't do it alone. Looks like the 83 is going to try to block that run from them.
He was cheating high a little bit there, but he's kind of offset a little bit. Now he finally gets back in line. But there's only 3 cars up, but it's still very early in this race. These guys have got a long way to go. There's nothing wrong with kind of getting in line, logging some laps, getting these things to the end, and then kind of settle amongst yourselves at that point. Just make sure your car's clean. Make sure it's got all 4 fenders on it, tires are pumped up. You got yourself a shot of Red Bull, and you're ready to rock.
I definitely thought that when we went into the first run until we got to the first caution, it was single file from front to rear. Not a soul was in there.
They were just, like I said, logging laps. That 83 just keeps cheating high. He must be getting really tight behind the troll car there. So he is really kind of looks like he's hopefully he's not burning that right front off doing that, but he could be cheating to get some air on that. I think it looks like it's almost like a loose tight he's fighting there.
I'm almost wanting to look at his car to see if maybe he's got some damage or something. I seen a couple of these cars the other night in a race we watched, and there was this minor damage.
Yeah.
And that minor damage just made the car almost undrivable. I don't see anything. I jumped on board with him. It looks square, but I don't know. He could have tapped something, but that thing is evil on corner entry. That would be the 83 of Andrew Deemer.
We've kind of got ourselves a little breakaway here with this top 18 or so. It starts to kind of fade off in the back there, so they're kind of just kind of pulling away from those guys, and they're just kind of letting these guys up here because maybe they saw some things they didn't like, so they decided to back off from the pack, which maybe could be a race-winning move there if these guys wad these things up anytime soon.
I love it when I see that pack separation. Especially if I'm in it, if I'm in that lead pack.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, got less people you have to fight for position, but again, up here it's pretty much tooth and nail. These guys they are digging on that outside. They are really wanting to try to get some. They're trying to put on a good show for the fans here. And like I said, that 48, 57 there, they are making a little gains on it again. They just got to get a little tighter, but that bottom line is just gonna be hard to beat with them guys all lined up like that.
Now, I'd like to see, I guess we got a stage coming up. I don't have that information right off, but I guarantee we got a stage coming up on us here in a minute, and that's what these guys are trying to do, trying to make their way to the front. And we'll see guys that are just trying to jump out. The 86 keeps dipping out. He's like, do I want to go up here, or do I want to, or is he loose? Can't really tell. He keeps second-guessing himself. Oh, and he almost got turned by Sean Rogers. I think he'll stay in line now. Thought for a minute Rogers had just he snuck out there on entry, and then he just let it hang out, and Rogers was on top of. Now Rogers is going to go around him.
Yep, he's looking to the outside now. He's I guess he's tired of riding. He's ready to go up there and try to make something happen and see what this 48 can do pushing him.
I can tell you, Rogers is like, screw this, I'm going to the front.
And here's the 86 comes up, want to get a piece of that action as well.
I don't think that's what Rogers meant to happen, but nonetheless, it is what happened. Watch him try to get back down to the bottom right here.
Well, right now that top 4 is now only the top 3 is the top 3 are the ones that have got a little safe space inside and out, but those guys on the outside are making some gains, so that top line is starting to work.
They are, man. They look like they're having a little bit of fun, because I always kind of it's twofold. I mean, this is a long race, obviously. But when you run Daytona, Talladega here, or any of them, it's so obnoxious to run almost wide open. It just gets boring. And when you see the chance to jump out there and do something different, I mean, I'm a sucker for it every time, and it usually works out not in my favor.
Sometimes you gotta just exercise a little patience, but I mean, I get you. I feel like sometimes you just want to get up there and mix it up, man. Put the elbows out, get up there and mix it up, especially to try to get some track position, because the last thing you want to do is be stuck in the back or in the middle of this thing when all hell breaks loose. So yeah, if you can stick with it, that outside line is going to be the only way to go, because right now there's nobody jumping out of line again after the 86 and 44, and the 86 is now went back to the bottom line, and the 44 and the 57 are trying to get this thing working, or 48, sorry, are trying to get this thing working.
And I gotta think Tyler. Oh, we got a caution. Is that stage? I don't see any wrecks.
Oh, 106. So.
Okay, so no, we got a wreck somewhere. I see the 83 is apologizing to somebody. No, that don't look. I'm not sure if we had oh, we had a wreck in the back. Ooh. And sorry, I don't have control of the broadcast flow right now, as our producer is having some medical issues. So me and Paul here, I called him out of retirement to come in and help. Well, we're not retirement. Peaceful quiet on a Sunday night.
Well,
ooh.
I still didn't see it, but I didn't see the wreck. But
it was the 36 car.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll try to be descriptive for those watching here. It looks like, because I can't rewind it to it. It looks like the 98 car turned the 36 getting into turn 1 and caused the 3-car wreck between the 56, the 38, and the 74 for Chris Davis. It looked like the 38 car got the majority of the damage from it, or the 36 rather, of Dakota Laurie. So
we do have leaders pit stops going on currently at the moment as well, Jeff. Just sorry to interrupt you there. Got boys getting some Dr. Feelgoods and gas. Get ready for this rest of this race here. So
that's exactly where I was headed to.
Ah.
Glad you caught me there, because I was about to miss that one.
There in the pits, I wasn't drawing all those guys back there, so I couldn't watch the wreck. So I had my eyes on these guys here. So.
All right, so who's the leader here?
Well,
I think we'll say the 86 may have come away with the lead there.
Looks like he did. See here, I don't know if he.
You looking to see if he pit, didn't you? That's what I was looking for.
I think he may have only. Is it Combs? I think he may have only took 2 or gas only at a 7 point. Looks like he only had may have been a two tires.
I think he's fuel only. I don't see him get. I don't see nobody. That's a fuel only stop. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm not driving it.
No tires here. Track position is good. You can hang around on no tires. I mean, on taking no tires here. How long though? That part I haven't personally tested, but I have seen some people make it work. So it's gonna be awful tough here to hold off. Looks like you got some. Still got Sully's up there, and Tony, Jeff, and these other guys like right there. They're gonna be pounding at the bit, try to take advantage. Now, watch out for this 86. If he does go in first gear on the restart, those tires will spin, and that could be restarting on old tires like that is very hard to do. So hopefully he'll be able to maintain that. And not getting wheel spin or anything like that, and get this field checked up.
That's the way I like it. I like it to have a little bit of you should have to monitor that. You shouldn't be able to just slam the throttle down and get away. I like having to drive the race car.
Well, that's if we had horsepower, imagine how bad it would be then. 900 horsepower on some old tire restart here in first gear. Yeah, Them things, you just might as well. You couldn't even look at the pedal without that thing trying to spin out on you.
No, especially at this track. Well, at least the old version of Atlanta. And every now and then we'll get some races at that old version, and the amount of character that's in that track is incredible. As we get ready to go back to green here, I'm not really sure how you pronounce this guy's name. It may be simple. Seba Corns. He's going to have control coming to the lead, and here we go back to green.
Here we go, back to green.
109.
Nice smooth start there by the 86. Very well done. We've got Cox and Tony on the bounce side here, connected, trying to get some. So
You got to watch these beast mode guys. They're going to try to work together here. And you need a friend. Or two.
our team. It depends. I mean, you need a line, right? You need them all. You need everybody to be your buddy, and then you to be the not be so nice there at the end. But hey, we're right in here. We're still in the heart of this race. It's no, you don't need to upset anybody right now. Just work together, and keep your stuff up front, and hopefully, you can all be there at the end fighting amongst yourself. So, again, it looks like that outside line is still struggling, even with these guys. They got 3 cars kind of nicely packed there, but they may be working their way to the there we go. Some people are already going to start working their way to the bottom, and then they're going to start, that outside line, just everybody's bailed on it. Sad, because you at least want 2 lanes to work with, here to make it interesting. But if that outside line just can't go, it's going to be a long night for some of these boys.
Yes, it is, because you just feel stuck. You don't feel like you can get anywhere, and I hate that feeling.
Well, it's kind of like a giant Bristol, like a 1980s Bristol back in the day when you could only run the bottom, and you had to root people out of the way to get around them because there was no high side there. Well, again, here we are, except we're almost full throttle while we're doing it. So,
be hard to root people here, but I'm down. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you root them. I think they're going to end up in the infield care center.
They might. Pays more to win.
Sure does, but not on lap 113.
No, that's such is true, because it's going to come back and get you later on.
Oh yeah. I know. I ran NIS here Friday night. I just had to avoid all the wrecks. It was rough. I managed to do okay. I just got wrecked at the very, very end there. But it's one of these tracks, man. You just never know what's going to happen.
So I was talking earlier in the broadcast before you come in here, and we were talking about how big of a difference the aero package has made in the tires. It seems like, as we hear, now we only know because we don't drive race cars in real life, that these cars are very similar now to what the new real life product is. And having said that, they're really difficult to drive in some ways right now. You don't have any room to make mistakes. If you get sideways, there's no saving it, which is very similar to a new car in real life. But I gotta think, as the weeks go by, the setup builders, we got some great setup builders like Kenny Coppola that does this. I gotta think it's gonna get better week after week when they figure out little tricks to make these things more stable.
Absolutely. All the builders, have used to been building yard. They're so used to building it a certain way that, it could, as this progresses, it's only going to get better. But right now, we're only in the second week of this, really. And then, next week go to road courses, so it's going to be a different animal all in itself. But yeah, you're right. As these builders continue to work and find the little nuances and things that are going to make these things better, hopefully the races will clean themselves up. Just with more stability, people able to kind of handle them like they, because this is completely different than it has been.
We basically had to throw every setup away. There was nothing even comparable. What we had the week before was not even useful when we went to Michigan, was it? We showed up at Michigan with absolutely nothing. We were just blind.
Well, that was our league race, but Michigan, that was our league race, and we were blind. But then, we went to Pocono, really, with the first real build, I think it was, and then we get Atlanta. Of course, we had Daytona Road around in there. That was the first week that they actually had to build for. But as we get these ovals and so forth, we start to see this, tire wear things matter more. Dover is going to be, I'm going to absolutely hate Dover week, but that's me personally, because it's just, I mean, if you saw the Coke race there the other night they were blowing right fronts and everything. So yeah, even the pros were having a time with this new build.
See, Dover's one of my favorite tracks on here, so I'm hoping it doesn't get ruined.
That'll be, we'll find that out in 3 weeks, I think, because we still got, what, 2 road courses in the next 2 weeks, and then Dover, I believe, and then Indy.
I'd have to look at the schedule. Is it 2 road courses in a row?
Yeah, they go to, Sonoma's one and the Chicago street course. So, yeah, we go to Chicago next week, street course, and then...
I hate to admit this. When we actually run a Chicago street course in our league last year, I actually enjoyed the race for some reason. I enjoyed it. It blows my mind because I'm not really a fan of the course, don't get me wrong, but for some reason we got in there making laps. But yeah, you're right, Chicago, Sonoma, Dover.
Yep.
That means you and me both were fast at our league race in the Moonshiners at Pocono this past week, and both of us got into a bunch of nonsense that wasn't none of our own doing most of the time.
Race away. It happens in leagues, happens in officials. Hell, I've had it happen. I've had it happen when, AI crap. So when you're running the races. So yeah, it just sometimes that's just how it is. So. Yeah, I mean, and here, we'll run here Wednesday ourselves, and we're going to be in for another epic showdown of a whole lot of riding the low line and trying to avoid the wrecks. But now that outside line is starting to work a little bit of magic again. Looks like we'll see. Looks like they can only get to that 4th car. I can never see them break past the 3rd car yet. So I don't know how hard they're pushing it, but hopefully that'll change, because we need to get up there and get some side-by-side battle for the lead. Last night it was so wild when we watched the real race and the runs that the 2nd place would get on the leader every corner, basically. You pass and he'd switch you up on the next end. It was kind of wild how the runs were.
Well, it looks like we've got Matt Cox who's leading the charge here, and we had it looks like the 13 car. We had a little bit of an accordion issue down there, and on the bottom it slowed that bottom line up. But Matt Cox seems to.
He's almost got him cleared. He almost had him cleared, but that outside line the inside line did check up. It separated them. And now that they're kind of getting back together, you'll see this inside line at least pull back even for the moment. But we are neck and neck right now. We've got ourselves a nice side-by-side battle for the lead.
Which it puts Matt Cox in a position where he's got to decide what he wants to do. Does he stay up top and fight, or does he bail on the guys that helped him get there and go to the bottom and try to stick to the bottom himself?
Once he's clear, he'll probably go to the bottom, and he is going to the bottom right now. See, yeah, that's what I figured.
Yep.
As soon as he
Can't blame him.
go to the bottom. But he was getting kind of a big shove by the 51 there. So, yeah, he was getting, or 57, sorry. He was getting, Cody Johnson was surely letting him have it. But, again, he's back there. He's worked himself back to the front. It's been like I know he's had a couple issues here and there, but he's got a fast hot rod there. He's making some good time on that outside.
Well, so he was getting pushed, but he also had some help, though. Cody Johnson had a teammate, Sean, I'm sorry, I messed up my name. Sean Anderson. Yeah, Sean Anderson, his teammate was right behind him, so they were not only pushing Cox to the front, they were nose to tail pushing themselves to the front. So Cox was in a position where, you know what, I might just let these guys go. I've got towards the front, I'm on the bottom, I got good track position. If they're going to get up here in the race, we'll just let them go.
Yeah, that could be a smart, better move there, because it looks like we got Anderson and Johnson on the outside there. They are pushing for all it's worth right now. So they are really trying to make some headway, and really they're not. They haven't been able to get much further since Cox was out front of that line. So I don't know. Maybe Johnson's got a great pushing car, and maybe it's just not set up to lead. But I mean, either way, it's fast. So I mean, like I said, they pushed their way up there. I mean, these guys are good, so they will. If anybody can get them up there, it'll be them two.
Yep, and they're working together. They've been looking for each other each time too. I see Chris Davis back rolling. Chris is several laps down. I'm still waiting to see if the 8 car, like, he's been the class of the field so far tonight. He got mired back in traffic and has not been able to work his way to the front. It makes me wonder, is he that much of a... We typically see when you can race good in the pack, you may not be good as a leader and vice versa. He may be good as leading, but not as good in the pack. So that may be why he's struggling to get back up through there.
It's just hard to pass, like we was talking about earlier. He's probably got himself a fast car there, and he's just kind of stuck on that bottom line. And if you're on the bottom, if you're just in line, there's nowhere to go. At red line, they don't let you go below that. They say don't go below that, or else you penalized or whatever. So if you're not in the top line, you're just going to be in there. But he may be content, like I said. I mean, it's still real early. He's probably content, ride there, kind of just see what happens, and then. But now, as I say that, he moves to the high line, which got a car slow on the top.
I believe that was Sean Anderson.
Yes, it was, too. He did a really good job. The field did a really good job of not getting into him there. I don't know how that happened, but he just kind of ducked off. Looked like he got a piece of the wall there and just dropped like a rock.
So we're looking at a 30 to 40 lap pit window. We've actually run about 20 laps here. So we're halfway through this fuel cycle, and we got a car spinning on the backstretch. I'm not sure if it'll be enough to bring up the caution or not. He spun all by himself down at the bottom. But certainly tire wear, that we're halfway through a fuel run. Fuel cell's half empty. And now we're going to see those tires start wearing in. Now we're going to see these guys moving around. That might be why we've seen now. We ain't talking about that 80, was it the 83 car, the 86 that was sideways getting to the turn? We ain't seen that, but
no, he's not yet. It happened because we're not far enough in this run. But as we get closer and that fuel load burns off, back into the car will start wanting to get a little more happy, dancing and stuff. So, yeah, as the fuel load lightens, then these cars will free up some, and then of course that could be something that we'll need to keep an eye on. When you go into pit, it takes as much time to fill the thing as it does 4 tires. So taking 2 tires wouldn't help you because you got to get a full tank in. Still with this many laps to go. Looks like we just passed halfway.
Yep.
Yep, just halfway. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
260.
Math and just so we're just a little bit past halfway there.
So as we get further on in, I would love to see us get to the point where at the end of a fuel run, I want to see how these cars behave, and I want to see the pit strategy unfold. This is a very... Oh, now we got a caution.
So much for the green flag pit stop theory.
Oh,
big wreck. I was at the tail end of the field there, it looked like. Several cars here. Looks like they're going through the grass, trying to...
I see the one car, Matt Mackin's involved in the 62. I'm going to try to look back and give our viewers a description of what happened. It looked like the 38 got behind the one of Matt Mackin and sent him, and then Mackin come back up the track and took out the 62, and they spun, blocking up the track for everybody there. Very unfortunate. Here we are. I was really excited to see what was going to happen with the fuel, and let's say the 98 was the other car involved.
I didn't have
so the 98, the 62, and the 1 were all involved in that wreck.
I'm gonna be no good for you on these replays in the back because I can't draw all the cars.
It's all good.
I got all my stuff set on max too. I don't know why it's doing it.
Oh, we got some controversy on the radio there.
Oh yeah.
You get in these things and they're here arguing over the radios, and it does happen. You get heated in these things, and it is a lot of time we invest in these things, and when somebody does something stupid, it does. It does give you that effort. The initial emotional response.
Well, you know, everybody's kind of different when you put they call it the helmet. We say the headset on, and it's you know, by then you're just to the point where, you know, you like I said, especially when you got these full length races, man, you're just sitting there, and I don't know about, you know, some people maybe they could be sitting in a garage somewhere sweating their ass off trying to race this thing, and of course, you know, that's going to create some, you know, some higher tensions and things like that. So yeah, you can't yeah, you just, I try to always take it like with a grain of salt, man. When, you know, when we unplug it, sometimes they'll get to you, but try to take it with a grain of salt when you can.
I do too, but sometimes, and like you say, you get hot and you get mad.
Yeah.
If you could fight in this game, it would be a brawl every single race.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I think everybody would be meeting everybody out in the parking lot over here, going down.
Oh, yeah.
Telling them meet me down at Kmart parking.
We would all be in the hauler. We'd all be in the NASCAR hauler. Remember in the day, back in the day, you used to get called to the NASCAR hauler.
Oh yeah.
And I always laugh because I know you're a Darrell Waltrip fan, and Darrell would always make jokes and stuff about he had his own seat in there and things like that. There were several drivers of the old school era that spent a lot of time in that hauler.
They sure did. Yeah. I mean, they getting to, yeah. Oh, you know, Bill France Jr. and Senior and them boys, they didn't take any crap back then.
They were quick to remind you that this thing was here before you and it'll be here long after you're gone.
Yeah, Mike Helton, Dick Beatty, all those guys, they were they surely laid down the law when they had to.
Dick Beatty. Now that's one of the pioneers that don't get heard about a lot. Love hearing that name.
Yeah, I just always remembered seeing him on like all the, you know, whatever they had the rulings and things like that. Now, it was interesting pit strategy here that they didn't pit.
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
I don't know if it was because it took them so long to catch the pace car. I don't know. Everything was kind of discombobulated there, but you know, I mean, you're gonna have to get gas at some point. I mean, you figured you'd fill the thing up, just try to go another 40 laps, but right now where they're looking, they're not going to go that long.
We should have drug Matt Cox down. Sorry.
You're good. No, we got ourselves another restart here, and Matt Cox brings up the green. Here we go, and we're off.
He gets a great launch out of the box right there too.
Sure did. 13's hanging with, trying to get in line with Rogers there behind him. Looks like we got 86 and Carson, and yeah, they got looks like 86 sorry, 86 there. Sorry of Combs. I'm gonna get you guys' name right one day. I promise you.
It's tough.
It's my first day. So
I threw Paul into this. We had a little bit of emergency, and I knew I could ask Paul and say, "Hey, are you available to do this real quick?" It got the only thing I can think. Are we coming up on a stage break? What were the stages
in the real race? Real race, I Googled it. It said the first stage was 60 laps, followed by 2 stages of 100 laps each. So that would be putting us at 160. So, you know, 60 laps, so 160, and then 260 because the race is 260. That's what the phone says. Now, whether or not the league went with what my phone says, I do not know.
So I'm guessing that
we got it. 48, 86. What a save!
They held it together
from both of them. Man, there's a couple attaboys right there. Let's throw out some attaboys. Attaboys, fellas. How do you do?
That's a top candidate for my Fresh Fruit of the Looms of the Race award.
There you go. There you go. They left some black streaks on the track and brown streaks in the draws.
You better believe that.
Great saves, though.
So
now it's really has single filed this thing out now, and in fact we got ourselves, looks like about an 8 car breakaway here, and 8 or 9 car breakaway. So yeah, it's you'll see here if the stage does start to come to at 160 like we could be, then you know they're not going to sit tight for too long. They're going to somebody's going to go up there and get this damn stage win.
So Matt Cox has got to be smiling like a mule eating briars after that pack separation.
Sure enough, yeah, he's less people he has to worry about.
But I'm gonna tell you, that 8 car he looked like he's got him some friends.
He's got some buddies up there, and they're trying to make some headway. He get a couple other ones jump out in front of him here. He may be able to make it work. You've got looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 BMP guys though out there in that top 6 or so that are they're going to work together. So yeah, this is be hard for that 8, but he's getting a shove right now.
Yep, Cody Johnson giving the 8 a shove, and they're making some headway here. Not super fast because it's only 2 of them, but again, we're getting towards that stage break at lap 160. We're at 143 coming to 144 here. You want to be in position, but that's definitely why these leaders didn't pit.
Yeah, if they can make it to the end of the stage, then they just do that. Oh, they're starting to. The outside line is still working a little. They're working. They're working a little.
They got a third car
up there. They're looking. Yeah, this looks like that. They brought back some of the those guys that kind of fell back a little bit there. They've kind of come back up into the mix a little bit now too. So yeah, if you're on the back side of this top 10 trying to get some stage points, you better look back now and get going because there they go. Oh, and they've got a caution.
We got a caution.
48 is slow on the back stretch.
Trying to figure out who we got here. Is that the 38 in the wreck here? I'm trying to figure out. I believe. Oh, we got a car. It was the 48 of Tyler Hunter. What happened to him?
Well, he was in he was in that initial slide that we had with the great saves, I think, if I recall.
He was he was in the second group. He had made it back and he had filled into the second group and he was kind of just riding along there and he just lost it. It looks like it slid up on him a little bit and then it just hooked left on him. All right, well, let's see what we got here.
We'll pit here now or not?
Nope.
Yeah, so the 48, the 48, it was the 48 and the 86 were the two that had those miraculous saves there going in between 1 and 2 earlier. So I don't know if the 48 may have just cooked his tires and got that thing way too sideways and then of course lost it there. So yeah. So
I feel like what's going to happen, he'll pit here and get his damage fixed if he got any, and he'll try to flip the stage here. I think that's probably his only option. Unless he's got too extensive a damage.
True. Of course, you've got 100 laps to go. If we're only getting 40, he's going to want to at least pit for fuel at the end of that stage, even if he flips it, just maybe not gas. Maybe not gas. Maybe not tires, but just take gas because you're gonna want to at least go 40. Because 80, you at least want to go because you gotta do at least 100 laps. At the last stage. So if you don't do it right, then you could have to make it you don't want to make it a 3-stopper.
And you're pretty much at that point. But it appears we're getting cautions before then. But every time you think or you get comfortable and settled into the fact that you're gonna have a green flag run, it just ends up being a caution, and vice versa. If you think, man, we've had wrecks all race, I'm not going to take a chance because we're going to get a wreck, then it'll go caution free. It always happens like that.
That's what they say, it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
You are.
So you just kind of play what you think's going to happen. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, well, just tonight, which I get a lot of those. So trust me, I feel exactly those sentiments every time that it doesn't do this.
We don't always have a Larry Mack sitting on the pit box for us that's got statistics and he can punch his calculator and say, the last 10 races here, we've had a caution in the last 10 laps of the stage.
Give us a trend. Well, the only trend I got is from what I've seen all week, and pretty much you just prepare. We'll get cautions. They ain't done. Let's put it to you like this: they ain't done yet. They'll have more cautions. These guys are good, but it's just like I said, this new build that everything's tricky. So yeah, it's we'll get more cautions. Unfortunately, it's just how many we do not know.
No, and pretty much the trends for this race have stuck to the trends that we knew that you talked about and alluded to it. It's lots of wrecking, but and it's not the drivers too. It's just getting used to this package. It's getting used to these tires.
Yeah, everything's so much different than it was before. But you know, to be honest, I mean, I remember hearing the other build. You know, we'd wad them up then too. So it's just you take your runs. You know, sometimes you know, we try to preach. You know, there should be give and take in racing and so forth. But sometimes you don't. You want to take, and that that doesn't always work.
Well, I know you and me are similar in that mindset. We give a lot, and sometimes with this car, I think it hurts us because we give too much and people take advantage of us. And I think we've learned lately in this car, at least prior to this build, that you've got to be a little bit more aggressive, especially on restarts. But again, that's the thing, when the green flag drops, you got to get with it. It's no time to be easy because everybody's fighting like cats and dogs. You got to figure out where you can save and where you can be patient.
Absolutely, yeah. And they look like these two right here in front have cooked up. They, I don't think Rogers has got off his ass yet. So yeah, they're coming through. Looks like we're getting single file with the outside lines, trying to work it in again. But Cody's going to need some help. Get boys get closer to him.
Yeah, and also when you get on the bumper of these cars, you got to be careful pushing on the entry of the turns. I suspect.
That's where you get tight. That's where the tightness is. You want to try to peek left front down, get a little air. If the guy in front of you is going to give you any room to get that air, so.
We're talking about some people having CPU load issues. A new feature added by iRacing.
Well, mine was in our league race the other night. My screens froze at Pocono, and it had never done that. So I don't know if there's, and then it turned out another guy, his screens did the exact same thing shortly after my caution, because luckily I didn't wad anybody up. I was able to keep it off the wall, keep it on, put it in the wall. I was out of the race, but I didn't kill anybody else. But the thing is somebody else had to happen. So I don't know. There may be something weird going on. I ran a graphic reconfig on my stuff after that, just to hopefully, whatever issues could be causing that may be alleviated by that. So looks like I got a 3 wide back there a little bit. Somebody was dancing around the middle, and then we got a caution.
8 laps of this before the stage break, dude. Trying to see where that yellow came from. I seen a car in a wall, but I don't see. That was an admin caution, but I don't see what it was for.
Well, maybe he saw a wreck or saw something that needed a caution to be addressed there. So looks like we'll get them lined up again here though. Looks like we'll get ready for this stage here.
Are we going to see pits? I've got my doubts. The pit road open right there? Yeah, pit road was open. We see some of those at the end of the line pitting. Look at Sean Rogers steal the lap lead from Matt Cox right there.
He got it. Yeah, he's in there getting.
He did.
Bonus point.
He got him a lap. Ain't that something? That's dirty. Boo, Sean Rogers.
Yeah, unfortunately, couldn't find anything. The reason why the caution was brought out there, but
can't
it's
either.
okay. Well, looks like we're gonna have ourselves a little mad dash for the end of this stage. With Cox and Rogers up front there. If they get another restart like they just had, it's gonna be awful hard for the rest of these boys to get up there. But either way, they can. Rogers, I take that back. Rogers will be second on the outside here, so they can still line up. But going into one, but. We'll see how this.
Jeff Carson will be there with him though. Oh. Jeff Carson's a teammate too. Even though he doesn't run the BMP, but he'll be behind Matt Cox for this restart. It appears. We'll see. We'll rack them up here in a minute. Maybe Carson's fourth.
Cole Wilson's in there, and he'll certainly have it. Diego Rodriguez. You know, we've got some other guys here that are kind of just, you know, been up there up front. They've been showing, you know, showing up, you know, first part, at least this part of the race I've been in. And, you know, we've got some others still trying to make their way up front there. So, well, business will pick up here in that final stage.
Cole Wilson's definitely been a factor all race. Rogers got him another lap lead there. So kind of curious now that we got Jeff Carson and Sean Rock and Rogers on the top line, nose to tail. Wonder if they'll try to do what Rogers and Cox did on the last restart.
Well, Cox will probably get, you know, he'll end up with a really good start here. He may go up top, but then, you know, the bottom's the preferred line here. So I don't know. I mean, heck, at this point, you know, 4 laps to go, you know, kind of that stuff's out the window. It's every man for himself to get points, get stage wins, things like that. But hopefully, like I said, we'll boys put on good shows.
I think we'll see a good finish here to this stage. Then we got a 100 lap sprint to the end after that. Which in our math, or your math, we should have 3 fuel runs in it, so
2 pit stops at least, you know what I mean? If we're doing 40 and 40, that's 80, and then a 20 lap run. But they may, you know, if we get enough cautions, they could always just, you know, try to get it. If they can, you know, catch a caution around lap 160, that'll, you know, I mean, well, around 220, that can get them to the end.
if you can get them close, they'll get there. Pace car's off.
Lined up, ready to get lined up.
See what happens on this restart. See if Sean Rogers can pull something up. No.
Oh, big jump by the 32.
When Matt Cox gets to the throttle, he leaves. That thing hooks up and digs out of the restart box.
He goes up, starts to give Rogers a pull there. Looks like Wilson, though, has got a lot of help on the bottom. He's going to be coming. And Rogers may be out, and then, of course, he somehow did he. They unfortunately for Carson, he's going to be the odd man out there, but Rogers and Cox were able to both get down there in front of Wilson. Let's see here. Again, Rodriguez is still also right there. He's sitting there in 4th.
I don't think he had a choice. It was the window for Cox and Rogers to get down closed rapidly. And unfortunately, Carson just wasn't clear. He just couldn't do it.
And as you know, as we've seen before, that top line is on the struggle bus again, trying to get up there. So, with only a few laps to go here, let's see, does Rogers or anybody make a move?
Oh, wreck! Big wreck. And they're going to call that the stage.
So Cox will win the second stage, looks like.
Oh, that was the number 8 car of Mike McConville.
Oh, that was
heavy damage. It looks like the 66 come down the track and just hooked him. I don't really know why. Big damage. Looks like the 56 is out. And the 8 car got going, but significant damage. And he had to tow to the pits. Man, tough break for the 8.
Yeah, that's the thing we were talking about. You get back there in the crowd, and anything can happen, and you know, just somebody misjudges it a little bit here and there or something, and the next thing you know, United's over. So, unfortunately for the 8, he was fast. He brought a good piece. He just won't get to see the checkered on this.
No, I think he may have blowed his engine. Can't tell if it was him or the 56, but race is over for him.
Even if he can get it repaired and get it back out, it's going to be, you know, kind of logging laps, trying to salvage what he can. And you know, we've all been there. You know, if you race this thing long enough, some nights you're just gonna have to get it fixed and just go out there and try to get what you can.
Yeah. It's like Matt Cox beat everybody. No. It's like Cody Johnson won the race off pit road.
took just a few tires there, so a couple tires maybe. We'll see.
How about we bring our stage winner down here? Let's see if I can do that. I can't do it. I can, but for some reason. Oh, I know what I can do. Let's see if we can get Matt Cox in here. Matt Cox, how are you?
Hello?
Hello. Welcome to the
What's
booth.
up?
Me and Paul up here in the booth. We figured we'd pull you up here and see what your thoughts are on the races so far, man.
A big pile up in the booth. Okay. Well, we're wrecking a lot. We're leading a lot. And, you know, it's just kind of a lot.
So, a lot. So
It's kind of a lot.
You're keeping it up front. That's what matters. You know, you're staying out of the mess. So right now, you just got to keep it up there for another 100 laps.
Yeah, easier said than done. Top line sucks. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if we can not wreck, then we might have a shot.
Yeah, just keep the track position. That's I know track position seems to be key all week, and it certainly is also going to be the same thing for tonight. Looks like.
Yep, I think so.
All right.
Hopefully we can
You're getting ready to go back green, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me throw you back up into beast mode. Good luck. We might talk to you again for this.
All right.
All right. Matt Cox for you. It's winner of stage 2. So we did have some stage flippers there. It appears the 3, the 83, the 10. It looks like the top 6 cars all flipped the stage right there.
Well, so they could have pitted, you know, just one of those cautions prior, so their tires more than likely not going to have a lot of wear on them, and maybe a little bit less in gas if they didn't pit at all. So I mean, it's
Can't blame them really.
But right now, with the way the cautions are flying, it's gonna. Well, I couldn't even say caution before we got another one there. Was there a snack up?
I'm working. I'm looking to see what happened here. I don't even.
Oh,
I'm
hearing rain in turn 4. Oh,
hearing some rain.
iRacing implemented rain for NASCAR.
Yeah.
In the middle of the
I'm not
session. This is unfortunate.
sure. I'm not sure what that caution was for. So he just threw it for the stage break? Okay, well.
He had it auto set for.
Okay.
For a caution for that lap, I guess.
I didn't know you could do that. Learned something tonight.
Okay. No, they no harm, no foul. As long as nobody got wrecked or nothing like that, we could be. So I mean, we'll line them up and maybe they'll shorten the caution here.
We need to tell Barry in Moonshiners how to do that.
Yeah, because then we would have the same problem. We in the stage early and then it threw the caution.
So, we're going to re-rack them again. So we got some different customers up front. This 3-car, Ron Fitting, we hadn't seen him up here all race. We've seen the 83 up front. Now, he was the one that was just so ridiculously loose getting in on the entry of the corner that I didn't know how he...
Yeah, he's had a few pit stops though to kind of be able to get that thing, hopefully right that thing a little bit. So yeah, he's maybe got that thing up and got some like I said, he's got some great track position now, and sometimes that can remedy anything. So he's up front, get his elbows up, keep that thing up front.
It certainly helps.
Yeah,
Let's
it
see.
sure does.
Seeing some.
Cody Johnson's our big mover from 30th up to 6th place currently.
Cody's always a factor in this league. He always runs up front and runs good. He's one of those guys you have to, you're going to have to deal with him. Excuse me, and Matt Cox are usually two of the guys you got to deal with every week.
Green flag, green flag. flag is out. Hang on, we're not going green, not going green. Green flag, green flag. Caution, yellow flag. Green flag, green flag. The yellow flag is out. Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
Green,
The
green.
restart zone.
Green flag, green flag.
And this green is down, and they're off. Cox. Oh well. Oh wow. Rogers and Cox are, lined up as they would hoped. We've got Tyler Hunter still out front. Johnson's there on the outside. Now the outside line has a form. We'll see if they can keep it formed here with less than 15 to go now.
It looked like. So they did shuffle Cody Johnson there on that restart, which that was my. I kind of thought the same thing. That's what likely would happen.
Well, they split up the Hunter and Cody team, so but Hunter could always move back up and try to catch him back up. So, but right now we've got ourselves, like I said, they're holding. Johnson's holding tough on that outside, even though he has not a lot of help. That bottom line is starting to form. The 77 of Rich Jett has really done a great job of just methodically working his way up here into 5th place, going for 4th right now on the inside there, and he's set himself up for a really good finish should this continue.
So we do have our audio back there. We did have a gap there. We weren't talking to ourselves the whole time, but we did have a gap there that something happened. But we're back rolling now. I see Cody Johnson. He's gonna have to find somebody here to work, and it just doesn't seem like Diego Garcia Rodriguez is interested in working with him for some reason. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know if he can just get there because as you see, the guy behind him is not tucked up to him. So the energy always comes from the behind. So if if the 21 is not getting any help from behind him, then it's gonna be harder for him to get to the 57 there. So Johnson is starting to fade now a little bit, but Kibbe, he's outside of Kibbe right now, but. Got a strong run for Jeff Carson here in the 9 as well. Another BMP guy that looks like he's running really well here in his top 5. But right now,
So he stayed up front the entire time. Rogers has not skipped. I'm sorry, Carson has not skipped a beat all night. He's been one of the most consistent faces we've seen tonight.
He has ran top 10 pretty much all night long. As we watch him here, he's sitting here just kind of mirroring what the 77's doing there in jet. So he's content to ride. We're coming down less than 10 to go here, just as we pass here with 10 to go. It's going to time for business to be starting to pick up now. As we've got a battle for the lead, Cox to the outside. He does not have any help, but him and Hunter are side by side. But here comes Johnson on the outside with help from Rodriguez.
Oh, and Jeff Carson absolutely just loses it and gathers it back up and keeps rolling. Completely sideways. I seen the number on the side of it. We got
a caution.
All right, so what do we have?
Well, it gives these boys the time to take a deep breath, kind of buckle down, get ready to do these last 6 laps or so.
What in the world happened? It looks like the 83 was slowing in the middle of the track. Huge. I don't know what happened there. Andrew Deemer was going into turn 3 like he was going to go on pit road and just parked it. All right, coming back to lap 254 under caution. We're going to go 1 to go right here. It means we're going to come back to green lap 255 with 5 to go, and looks like Matt Cox is the leader now. We've had a change in the front in that whole fiasco. Now here's what's really strange. We've got Matt Cox and Tyler Hunter, and then we flip it on the back. We got Cody Johnson, Sean Rogers matched up beside each other, completely the opposite of what we had before.
Yeah, each buddy's got their other buddy behind the other guy, so we've got it's going to be interesting how this plays out, considering they probably won't want to help beat the other person. So we just be time. In my opinion, frankly, it's just time to go. buddy or not, you try to win this race for yourself. So hopefully we get geared up and see a great finish here.
I got a feeling what's going to happen is we're going to see Matt Cox get away with a good restart, and the 48's going to try to jump down and behind him in the 57. This is what's going to that could really change things up, because that's kind of what we've seen. Cox will get down on it. 57, that 48 will get in behind him, and 57 and 48 are going to gang up on him. So let's see if, honestly, it'd almost be better off if Cox does not get a good restart here. You know what I mean? If he doesn't break away from him.
Here we go, and they're off. And see here, and Cox. No, it looks like it had a pretty good. There, you're right. Got one flat down. Now they're going to leave Rogers out.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt Cox if he loses his drafting buddy there. So, but hey, it's time to go. 5 to go. So they are pushing for all she's worth right now.
It would have been better off if he didn't, but you know, that's one of those things you learn as you go. If he kind of drug the restart, you know, but nonetheless, Sean Rogers is going to get some help. They're going to think Sean Rogers just got sucker hold. No, he didn't. He got back in line.
They are trying. They are trying, but Cox still got this thing under control right now. But you've got Tyler Hunter and Cody Johnson just chomping at the bit, waiting to make their move. But the outside does have a surge here, and they've got some cars lined up out there.
All Sean Rogers needs to do is prevent one of those cars from getting in the outside line. That's what he needs to do. Is he's got to be able to keep one of them from changing lanes. Because we're coming to the point now where one of them is going to sneak out there. They're going to try to jump out there and make a run around Matt Cox.
And they're stalling at that fourth car, just like we've seen all night. You know, they've kind of stalled at P4. If they can get to P3, then, you know, they'll break that trend that we've been seeing here of how far the lead outside car can get up onto the inside line.
And so the only thing you can do is try to pull the draft off of that 57 and pull him off 48. And try to claw your way up through there. Yeah, that's the only thing you can do. It's almost like claw it up. There they go.
They're making the move outside. They're going to hang Cox out. But now they're 3 wide for a second. Looks like you know, Rogers got hung out. But now it looks like Hunter's going to move back down, as well as Cody Johnson. Oh, and Merring. He's in the wall, but it looks like he's staying straight.
Coming back 2 to go.
Hunter's still in control. He's still in control, but we've got looks like Cox and Rogers are side by side now. He's kind of pulled off. Cox doesn't have any help.
But that's okay. I don't know that Matt Cox might be better off right here than from the outside.
White flag is in the air, and they are taking the white flag with Hunter Johnson with Cox in tow. Let's see here. These front two have been strong nose to tail all night. Let's see how this thing plays out.
Down through turn 2, it's in 1, 2, 3. Hunter Johnson, Cox, no change. We see Sean Rogers goes to the outside to try to make a move. Are Johnson and Hunter going to be satisfied themselves just thinking 1, 2 here, or are they going to make a move? Matt Cox forces himself to the...
He's going low. He's looking low. He does get second, but Hunter for the win.
Wow, that was a good finish.
Great finish, fellas.
Shoot ya.
Whoa, take exhale after that great finish. What they put on a show, boys.
That was a show. Yeah, it's fine. That was fun, Paul.
Absolutely. Y'all got it? Y'all got it? Did you say y'all got this rest of this?
No, you and me will finish it off.
Okay, that's cool. I'm sorry. I didn't hear it.
I like that because he was kind of producing, throwing it around. It kind of worked good. When he come in, you know what I mean? When he's...
Yeah, when he's... Tell us that. Yep. All right. Well, he's going to burn it down. Hunter has come down here and showed him how to do it here at Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta, Georgia. Does a nice burn out there. We'll be having our driver interviews coming up shortly.
Yep, we'll do the top three. Is Tyler Hunter is burning them to the ground here. Let's see. I was pretty impressed with the show, Paul. I mean, we had some wrecks there. We had a bunch of cautions, but in the end, these guys really showed up. It was pretty awesome racing.
They certainly made it a show there at the end for sure.
Pretty impressive deal there. I think Hunter is, he's in with that group with Cody Johnson and them, and they were working together the whole time. There's Hunter. Good race, though. Real happy with the way that one turned out. This is one of the better races we've thrown together. Tyler Hunter, congratulations on that win, man.
Thank you.
It's y'all run a pretty impressive race there. You and Cody Johnson seem to be really working well together tonight. Y'all come through the field tandem. I can't remember who was pushing and who was leading, but you weaved your way through the crowd, and that's when we really noticed that y'all were a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, Cody's he's a good friend of mine. A lot of what I've learned has come from Cody. When I first started with 1,000 iRating, Cody was always there to throw in his input and help me out on a lot of things. So I really owe it to Cody on a lot of things.
Yeah, it seemed like y'all work well together.
Absolutely. Great finish there, man. Great finish. Great job. You guys just put on a clinic there at the end. I mean, you Cox was he was the monkey wrench trying to throw it in there, but man, it was great finish, and you guys put on a heck of a show.
Yeah, I knew once he got to my bumper, I was going to have to do something to either one, hold him back there, or two, if he got by me, try and figure out how to get around him. And once I found a door, I just took it as quick as I could.
Yeah, I felt like the way y'all lined up there at the end, that was very predictable what was going to happen. And I said, Cox is a sitting duck here. He's going to get away with the lead, but then he's going to have y'all two lined up on the bumper. And that outside lane just had such a hard time coming forward. It would get to the 4th or 5th place car, and that was it.
Yeah, we ran a league last night, and one thing I was noticing is later on in the run, the outside line just was non-existent. It seemed like every time you tried to go up there, even if you had 3 or 4 cars with you, you would get going for a minute, and then it would just die off again.
That's exactly what we could see. And it just felt like you couldn't get there. Now, occasionally it would take a shuffle or something, or kerfluffle, as Matt Johnson would say, that would cause it, and then you would be able to make the outside work. But you would get to the bottom, and that was the place to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know it's getting late in the evening. Let's give you a chance to shout out anybody or any sponsors, team affiliations, or whatnot.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out, obviously, to CFM. Those guys have put together a good race car, so it seems like we're working out pretty good. Obviously, Cody Johnson for the pushing, and to Rogue Energy, who still sponsors me for some reason, but it seems like it's working out. So yeah, shout out to all those guys.
Yeah, well, congratulations, man. It was a great win. It was very impressive. It was a good broadcast. I mean, from a broadcast standpoint, it was good. It was a good visual. Y'all put on a good show. I mean, it was several cautions. Some probably shouldn't have happened, but I think even you were involved in yourself on the backstretch.
Yeah,
and
I got caught up in a couple of mishaps, but
and you got it fixed and got back going. So overall, great race, man.
Absolutely, thank you guys.
We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Great podcast, guys.
Thank you.
I don't think we have. Oh, okay. I don't see him.
Okay.
Cody Johnson. Congratulations on the P2 tonight, man. I know you wanted P1, but seemed like you was committed to Tyler Hunter there to help.
Oh yeah, we and Tyler were in a chat, and he I don't know if he's won any this year or not, but yeah, I was with as hard as it is to get moved, shuffled out, and get pushed to the back and all that. I was pretty committed to trying to help Tyler and get him up there, and right there at the end before that last caution, I didn't think I was going to be able to get back up there to him, and then there's one time I was forced to push Matt past Tyler, which kind of sucked, but luckily we were able to make it work, and which I like working with Matt too, so it was kind of a difficult situation.
Well, sometimes you have to do that to keep the track position and keep you near the guy, even you're trying to help. I mean, it's just part of the deal.
Yeah, and hey, with the new aero package and everything, it's just so hard to make anything happen without a solid group pushing on the high side. It's just you can't make any momentum up.
Yeah.
But it was a good race. It was fun. Enjoyed it. Wish there could have been fewer cautions, but other than that, it was a good race.
Well, even with the cautions, it was still a good show. And me and Paul really were impressed with you two together. I don't know, probably about halfway through the race, or when we started the second round, or I'm sorry, probably the end of the second stage, beginning of the first. We seen you and him get together, and y'all just weaved your way through the pack, and it was impressive what you did right there. Like, I think you were pushing him, and I don't know how he kept control of it.
Yeah, he was completely opposite from what I was. I was more free in 1 and 2, and a lot more tight in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And he was telling me that he was opposite. He was more free in 3 and 4 and tighter in 1 and 2. But yeah, I was asking him the whole time I was pushing him to let me know if I ever made him loose, and he said no. And there was he was able to hold on to it going through the majority of the corner, and I just pushed on him as much as I could without him getting loose, and he held on to it.
It didn't look like that to us, did it, Paul?
That's something you see with this new build. It's very hard to do that tandem push draft like we did here, in the previous build. So for you guys to be able to do, you're the only ones I could really see make that work for an extended period of time. So yeah, it was hats off to you guys. Great job.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I know he tapped brake a few times to get back to me, and I was trying not to get off the throttle and just drag and brake on entry, and it just worked out. It felt good. I was too loose to be out front, so being in clean air, I was up there eating shit a few times because I was so loose in clean air. So it was actually better for me just to kind of ride behind somebody.
Yeah.
But well, Cody, you want to give any shout outs to anybody? Any affiliations?
Like I said, shout out to the guys we raced with in the Discord. Tyler, Sean, Ryan, Brandon, Meyer was in there with us. And just you guys for the stream. Awesome streams that y'all do. I share them around to my wife and kids, and they go back and watch. And all the other people in our other Discord that we're in. Just shout out to y'all, and shout out to the guys who run the league, and appreciate the opportunity to be here. Always fun.
All right, man. We appreciate it. We'll let you get to bed, and we'll bring our third place guy in here now.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one. See y'all.
You too, Cody.
Okay.
Yep.
That's our third place guy awake. Matthew Cox. I feel like we've talked to you before.
Who are you?
My name is Donald J. Trump. What's up, buddy? Third place finish, man.
You gave it a run there, trying to get the second, man. You lost your help there behind you because of the way it all unfolded, but hell of a run, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I could have did without that last caution, that's for sure. But yeah, once they got linked up, I was pretty much toast. Yeah, tried to get to second, almost got there.
Well, I got to thinking when you did that final restart and the way you had Cody behind you, Hunter was up top with Rogers behind him, and I didn't think about this until literally y'all were coming to the line. You were almost better off not getting a good restart because it would have forced those two to be separate from each other. Yeah, okay. We really couldn't tell from that angle, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure they were side by side so they couldn't tuck in behind each other, and then they did anyway, so that sucked. And then they were kind of lagging back on me to trying to get a run. So I was like dragging brake to try and keep them close. And then the outside lane just came and shoved them forward. So, yeah, I don't know. That's tough, but it is what it is.
You did everything you could do. No, you didn't wreck. I mean, it was some cautions there as a whole that shouldn't have happened, but that's a league admin problem.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't wreck. Other people wrecked.
Yeah, when you go back and look at a couple of these wrecks, your mouth's going to you're going to go, oh my God. But it's neither here nor there. I'm glad it's somebody else's problem.
That's right.
Well, good run, Matt. Didn't know if you had any other stuff you want to talk about. If not, we'll let you get to bed and we'll wrap this thing up ourselves.
Wrap her up, guys. I think you know what I'm gonna do. And then I'll be off to bed here shortly. So.
Well, you're not going to go run the 10:30 race. You're going to bed.
Certainly not. Certainly not.
Certainly not. You're going to play golf or something, probably. Anyways.
You don't do that either.
That's right.
That is.
Never mind. I know what he's going to do.
I already know what he's going to do. I already know what it is going to do. Have fun.
All right.
Enjoy.
I'm already in progress. Take it easy.
I figured. Night. All right. Well, Paul, Matt, I think Matt has rejoined us here in more of a producing role. He had some issues going on, and he got that sorted out. And we had a few little audio issues. I think we dropped. Me and Paul have been talking for the last 2 hours, and we lost about the last 30 minutes because of a Discord timeout issue. But nonetheless, we were here, and it was fun. Paul, what do you think, man? Did you have fun tonight?
Yeah, great time, man. Thank you for asking me to come and be a part of this. Matt, hope everything gets, hope you get feeling better, and appreciate you, Jeff, for bringing me in and let me be a part of the whole deal.
If anything, we learned a little bit for our league race Wednesday night. At least I did, and I'll have to buckle down and be in practice Tuesday night this week. Normally, I don't do Tuesday night practices because I race during the week, and I didn't last week, so I got to suck it up, and I'll be in there Tuesday night because I can tell I need to.
It was a great race. Put on a hell of a finish. A lot of different storylines played throughout the entire thing, and just like I said, I appreciate you guys bringing me in and being a part of it tonight.
All right. Well, congratulations again to Tyler Hunt, guys. Hell of a win tonight for them, and great finish. Good finish for the league. Y'all look good tonight, even though there were a few cautions. But appreciate it. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we're going to get out of here.